Hi guys. So today and tomorrow you are working on perimeter for lessons 13.1 and 13.2. 13.1 is where you understand perimeter and 13.2 is where you find the perimeter of a given shape. So we're going to go over those two lessons today in this video for you. This is an assignment that we did before we went to online learning, but it's been a while, so I wanted to just kind of remind you of what perimeter is and how to find it. So remember that perimeter is the area or the distance around a shape. And this might be something useful for you to write on your notebook or on whatever you're using to show your work for your assignments. So the perimeter is the distance around the shape. So if I give you a shape that looks like this, and I would ask you to find the perimeter. So you would find how long it would take for you to walk all the way around the shape. So I would say there's 1, 2, 3 on this side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on this side, and I know that rectangle opposite sides are the same. So if this side is 3, then this side is going to be 3. If this side is 7, then what is this side going to be? It's going to be 7. And then I can find my perimeter by adding all of the sides together. So I know my perimeter is all of the lengths and the widths added together, all the sides added together. So if I have 7 plus 3 plus 7 plus 3. And I know my combinations of 10, and I know 7 and 3 make 10. So my perimeter would be 10 for these two plus 10 for those two. And 10 plus 10 is 20. So my perimeter is 20. It would take me 20 spaces to go around the shape. Let's check to make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. It took me 20 spaces to get around the shape, and that's my perimeter. Now on your practice, it's going to ask you to draw some shapes, and it gives you the grid on there. If you don't have a printer at home to print out the practice, that's okay. You can just draw it on a paper and just label your sides. So I'm using graph paper here. It's kind of hard to see the little squares, I know, with the lighting. But if you don't have graph paper, you can use regular paper and just eyeball it the best that you can. Or if you have a ruler at home, you could use a ruler. So on 13.1 on your practice, we're going to skip down to number 4. Because numbers 1, 2, and 3, you're doing the same thing. You're adding up all of your side lengths to find your perimeter. Number 4 and 5 are a little bit different. It asks you to draw a shape with a given perimeter. So it says to draw a shape with a perimeter of 10 units. So I need to think, how can I draw a shape, probably a square or rectangle, that has a perimeter of 10? And I know that my perimeter, if it needs to equal 10, that means all of my sides need to add up to be 10. So I need to think of different ways that I can make 10 with a rectangle. So I could say 2 and 2 for one side, 2 and 2, because I know 2 plus 2 is 4. So if I have 4, how much left do I need to make? I need to make 6 more to make that total perimeter of 10. And I need to split that 6 equally between my two sides. So I have some sides here and sides here. So if I have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I need to have 3 on each side to get the perimeter of 10. Because my perimeter will be 2 plus 3 plus 2 plus 3, which equals 10. Now on the next one, it asks you to make a perimeter of 22 units, which is a little bit harder, so I'm going to show you a trick. If the perimeter is 22 units, and I'm going to make a rectangle. I know that a rectangle has 4 sides, right? And I know that the opposite sides are equal. So I can take this 22 and divide it in half, which would get me 11. So I know that 2 of my sides need to equal 11, right? Because then the other 2 are going to make the other 11. So if I think 11, well, I could have one side as 3, and I need 8 to make 11. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm running into my shape. Because then, if I have 8 and 3, 3 plus 8 is 11. 8 plus 3 is 11, and I know that 11 and 11 make 22. So if it asks you to make a shape with a perimeter of 22 or 10 or 12 or whatever it is, the easiest way is going to be to divide that number in half and then figure out how to make that number with 2 sides, like we did here, with 8 and 3 equaling 11, because this 3 and 8 will also be 11. All right, now let's move on to 13-2. So 13-2 on your practice, and I'm just looking at my teacher guide, so I know what your practice looks like. It's asking you to use an inch ruler for 1 and 2 to find the length of the sides of the polygon and then find the perimeter. So remember, a polygon is just a fancy word for shape. So I need to use a ruler. If you don't have a ruler, that's okay. You can just do your best guess for that one. An inch, gosh, I don't even know if I have a ruler around here somewhere. I did until my kids stole it. So an inch is probably going to be about 3 fingers for you guys. Probably about 3 fingers will make an inch or so. Yeah, about 2 for me, probably about 3 for you because your fingers are a little bit smaller. It's about 2 to 3 fingers to make an inch, and then you can just kind of eyeball it from there. Pretty easy. So let's look at 3 and 4, which asks you to find the perimeter. Now, on 3, we're using a rectangle, just like we've done here. So you guys know how to do that. But it gives you a triangle for number 4 with a length of 11, oh gosh, it's so small, 11 inches. So it gives you a triangle. It says this side is 11 inches, and to find the perimeter. Okay, so it doesn't give me the length of the other sides, and it doesn't give me a perimeter to use. So I need to assume that all of these sides are going to be the same length, because otherwise they would have given me some other measurements here. So if this one side is 11, then I know that this side's also going to be 11. They're equal, and this side will be 11. And when I add 11 and 11 and 11 together for repeated addition, or I could say 11 times 1, 2, 3 sides, and I know that I get 33 inches. Okay? The word problems are a little bit trickier. You're going to have to really think about what it's asking you to do. So we're going to go through one of those right now before I let you go. All right. So on number 5, it says, the largest room in Lauren's house is shaped like a square with sides of 6 yards. What is the perimeter of the room? So Lauren's biggest room in her, 1, 2, 3, 4. Trying to make sure I make a good square for you guys. The biggest room in her house is shaped like a square. I know that squares all have equal sides. That's what makes them a square instead of a rectangle. Well, squares are rectangles, but that's what classifies them as a square. They all have equal sides. So I know that the square all has equal sides, and it tells me that one of those sides is measured at 6 yards or feet, yards. And since I know that one side is 6 yards, that means that this side is 6, this side is 6, and this side is 6. And I know from multiplication that 6 times 1, 2, 3, 4 sides will get me a perimeter of 24 yards. All right, guys, I'm going to let you go. I hope this video helped remind you of what we did in lessons 13.1 and 13.2 for finding perimeter. I'm going to be making another video here soon to go over 13.3 and 13.4. 13.5 I'm going to make its own video because it's a completely different lesson that has to do with problem solving. So if you're still struggling with this lesson, watch the video again. You can also YouTube other videos from other teachers that talk about how to find perimeter, or you can email me and I will hook you up with some new resources. All right, I will see you guys soon.